But Jez, for me, that was one of the best performances I've seen at Stamford Bridge in my lifetime. And the reason I say that, and people will be like, what? We used to beat them every year. Yeah, we did. But we had a super team back then. We had a team that was carving everyone to pieces all around Europe most of the time as well, until it got to latter stages maybe. But yeah, we had the Henrys, the Vieiras and all of that. Canu hat-tricks, Winterburn screamers, Silvino, I think, scored a screamer one year. We used to beat them quite a lot. And but the players we had in them teams were a lot better than the squads we've got now, which is why I think it was a great performance. Because if you look at our squad and compare it to all of them squads, it's nowhere near. But if you go down the route that they did used to then flip it and beat us every single season, and since Mikel Arteta's been here, he has got a very good record against Chelsea. Smashed them up last year, beat them the year before, drew the year before, and then obviously won yesterday. For me, that was one of our best performances at the Bridge. To limit Chelsea to one shot on target, every single one of our defenders, I would say Zinchenko was probably the worst, but that was based on his first 30 minutes of the game. But over the rest of that, I thought we'd done pretty well. But for every single one of our defenders to just look cool, calm, collected, for our midfield to not get worried one bit, for the amount of chances we created, I think that was one of our best ever performances at Chelsea. What did you make of it overall, and who was the standouts for you?
I thought it was an awesome performance, as I said in my fan cam. Yeah, I've seen some great games at Stamford Bridge back in time, and with some great players that we've had. But yeah, I mean, with our squad, which isn't the greatest depth of squad, we know that, we talk about it, and you know, we all know that we've got to do something if we're going to seriously go for the Premier League title. Yeah, but I mean, yesterday that defence. You know, I pop my head in the chopping block, and I've had a few people last night on my review call me out on it. But yeah, I thought Ben White, great performance. Saliba got my man of the match. I gave him a top 9 performance. Gabriel made one slip up, but you know, again, a great performance. Zinchenko
as well.
Sorry?
And scored the winner as well.
And scored the winner. Zinchenko, I think, is not ready. I think he's a bit 80%, 85% fit. So I was a bit surprised he started. But first half, I thought he looked very rusty. Second half, he improved. Then obviously got hooked for Tierney. Tierney came on. I thought he made a big difference. And yeah, I think our defence, our midfield, absolutely outclassed Chelsea. I've got no question. As you quite rightly say, you know, to limit them to one shot on target, where our goalkeeper basically is standing there, getting cold in the rain, probably getting pissed off because he's got nothing to do. And that's what we love to see. Sorry about that, Ramsdale, but if that's the performances Arsenal can give you, then I'm happy for you. You'll get your bonus for having a clean sheet. It was a great performance. Loved it.
Yeah, no, mate, 100%. I agree with you. I thought Ben White was quality as well. And he's been really good at right back this season. Kenny, you was obviously at the game. Was it as good a performance live than it was watching it on TV?
Well, the thing is, if you watch the first half, we look like the more assured in possession. We look like more dominant midfield because one of the themes of the games Chelsea playing before them was the loss of Kante. You know, Kovacic was on the bench, and I said out aloud on previous shows that if they played a midfield of Loftus-Cheek, with Loftus-Cheek, and I thought, yeah, we're going to be laughing because, Loftus-Cheek, Mason, Mount, and Jorginho, yes, please. And that's the thing. What you notice about our players as well is the size of us. Athletically, we will outstrength them because that's times when we played Chelsea, they've outstrengthed us. You can only think about the times when we played tiki-taka football, where Cess, Nasri, we used to go to, Stamford Bridge, have most of the possession, but they'll outmus us both in areas of midfield and with obviously players like Drogba. Today we were the big guys, and it showed. Thomas Partey was imperious. imperious. You know, Saliba was just unbelievable. Two of our best players on the pitch. You know, obviously, you know, Zinchenko, he was picked for a purpose. He was picked in order not just for Arsenal to outmuscle Chelsea midfield, but to have an extra man in terms of key possession. And I think that's how Arsenal are probably going to play, which is a bit frustrating for Kieran Tierney. But I insist that he can play that way because, you know, maybe, and I think that any left backs now, it seems that if you want to excel, you're going to have to be not only good in attack in terms of like putting crosses in, you've got to be very, very comfortable in possession because you are probably going to be required to sit in the midfield and create an extra number. Instead of being 4-3-3, it would be a full firm player in there. So that's the way I think Arsenal are going to go. But in terms of like how we create the better chances, Jesus should have scored. You know, Thomas Partey flicked it away from Martinelli, and the goal was just. We were shocked because we were right behind it when the corner went in, and we were thinking, how has that gone through? Because every corner that both sides took very rarely beat the first man. Because and I remember talking with Hoggy, I was saying, don't you think defenses are so well drilled at set pieces that it's really boring nowadays when a corner goes in because you know they're going to clear it. And then
to me, what it is, Kenny, most people can't cross a blooming ball. Let's be real. They can't cross a ball.
Yeah, but that as well. But you think about it, you know, the actual move started when basically Silva got robbed by Jesus, and then there was a 1-2 of Jesus and Saka, and you know, Mendy at saved near post, and then we had the corner routine. Again, the way the ball went in, it was a shock that, you know, that it looked like it was going in already because it was you know, Saka to the ball. Went, no way has he scored direct for the corner. No way. And then all we could see was because we thought that Gabriel just made sure because it was already going in. But I was thinking, what happened there? And then you go home and you see Cucurella hugging Saka. And then after that, I must say, there was no way they were breaking us down. Absolutely no way. We were strong, you know, in terms of like our positionings. We're strong in the tackle. And in terms of like, we protected our goalkeeper. As you said, it was only one shot from Havertz, was a grass cutter. Apart from that, we were completely dominant. And we had the better team, and it showed yesterday.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I thought it was funny when I see Cucurella just stand there. It was like he was cuddling his wife or something. Like and they literally didn't move. Excuse me, my throat is battered, by the way. Big up to everyone showing love in the comments. No, I'm not unwell. I just got a sore throat, which is killing my chest as well. But we are still standing for now. But yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was a great performance. I thought we were solid as well. Chelsea just couldn't get near us all over the park. And I said this to Goonie. I felt like some of their players have down tools. Like Raheem Sterling, definitely. He looks like he just can't be bothered. Every time he looked up yesterday, no one there in the box. Every time he's getting the ball, he's run down the wing. No one near him. Aubameyang, I think, had 8 touches all game before he got hooked. Kai Havertz, he's just shocking, that guy. I don't see what everyone raves about him for. Scored 1 Champions League final goal and everyone's still got their pants down. Don't really get it.
Lee, sorry to cut you. But there's one player who was just as shocking, but because he's English and he came through their youth system, people are not going to criticise him. But I was nice on Instagram when I said, you know, this guy, I don't recognise this player. What's happened to him? But what I really wanted to say, what does he do? And you know I'm talking about, don't you?
Mason Mount, yeah. But that's the same with Loftus-Cheek. He's crap. Like, I don't get what the hype is. Like Mason Mount, I think is actually a good player. Yeah, but he was crap yesterday. But Loftus-Cheek, I don't even know how he's still there, mate. That guy's been nicking a living for about 7-8 years. Like, it's unreal that he's still at that football club. The only reason he's rated is because girls fancy him. That's it. And after the Chelsea fan base fancy him. Like, maybe he should become a male model or something because he's a shit footballer. But anyway, let's move on.